The second aspect, which was like, I guess like a big wake up call, was when I was in college. And I remember I used to like drink. I used to party. Not like too much, but like every weekend I'd like drink. And then like I realized one time I got like hungover and I like didn't feel too well the next day. That like affected my whole like gym because I had legs that day. It was a Saturday. The workout felt so bad. And then like I remember after I was like, if I really want to like be the best at like working out, if I really want to like be the best possible me in terms of like fitness, I can't like keep drinking. I can't keep like partying, like all these kind of thing. That's when I was like, I really like love working out. If I really want to do this to like my best, I gotta like stop the drinking, you know?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 60 of the Conscious Cast. I'm your host, Cal, along with my other boy, Mr. Josh Ngeow, a.k.a. Mr. Bodybuilder, a.k.a. Mr. Businessman, a.k.a. the man from England that I've never liked ever. Oh, wow. Say what's up, my man. How you doing?
What's up, man? Let me just say, that was an incredible intro. I was not expecting that.
I thought you were like, dude, that's so lame. So I was oh, dude, I like it.
I loved it. Yeah, I was just expecting you to just be like, what's up, guys? My name's Cal Boys. I'm back here again.
Yeah, guys, we're back with another podcast, right? And we got on a special guest that I went to high school with. This man is from England. He's from London, England. He was born in Switzerland. And yeah, as you can see, he is a specimen of a man. He is on all steroids possible. No, I'm kidding. He's all natural. You know, we'll get into that. But yeah, we are here today, and we worked out yesterday. And I was just like, yeah, I need to have this guy on the podcast because I don't think I've ever really told you this, man. But like, oh no, I have told you this many times. But you and our other good friend Alex, you are the one that really got me into weightlifting, right? Really got me into this, I guess you could say, self-improvement area. So without you, I don't know if I would necessarily have a lot of the same habits I have in my life right now. Because I think you are one of the reasons and the root of why I started to really want to improve myself, really want, to build a better physique, develop healthier habits, become healthier, right? And so I remember it was junior year of high school, right? Or we were going into junior year of high school or what? I don't know. It was like track or whatever. Or no. Yeah. You did track. And I just remember you posted this picture of you like in the sun with Mark Kang or whatever. Yeah, I was like, oh my, Alex and I were like, dude, what? Like this dude got freaking huge. And yeah, ever since that point, like just you and Alex have like, at that point in time, you were a big motivating factor for me getting into weightlifting. So before we start, I just wanted to say thank you, man, and I really appreciate you coming to Connecticut just for that reason. No, but yeah. So so kind of like going back to high school, going back to the old days, 3 years ago, right? 3-4 years ago. You got into weightlifting. You got into just kind of like this different type of mindset, right? And you're just like, I want to be big. Like I want to, it's like what kind of made you in high school want to get into weightlifting and just kind of building a better physique and getting into all that type of thing?
Yeah, so I think like if you look at like social media and thing, you got like a lot of pressures, like society and like looking good and like that kind of thing. And like you'd see like for me, like my like inspiration was like David Lade, like Arnold, like those guys. And I used to look at them and I was like, wow, this is like what a man like looks like. And to me, like that was just like I guess like the way I wanted to look, you know? And it was, I was looking like, I wanted to do that because I was like, oh, like, probably like I'll get girls and like people gonna be like, whoa, he's so big. Like, I just want to like be with him or some shit. But that's just like how it was when I was like a kid, you know? Exactly. When you're a teenager, you have like.
Yeah, you're 13. Never seen a naked woman in your life.
Exactly. And you're like, oh, okay, like women like this kind of thing. So I was like, I think I was 15 when I started like, it wasn't like bodybuilding, but it's more like workouts because I still played soccer. So I'll do like workouts just to make me like physically stronger on the ball. And then I think it was like when I turned like 16, I like started going to this gym in Unionville called Valley Fitness. And that was like, that was when I like realized I really wanted to work out. Like I didn't even know like why I became so consistent, but like I'd like I'd try to eat as right as I could. But like my parents, you know, they would make whatever they would at home, so I wouldn't really have much of a choice. But I'd still try to like eat like as much protein as I could, and, like go to the gym and everything.
Like from that point, I remember this guy. Like after that point, where I saw that track picture. I was like, wow.
I mean, that was sophomore year.
That was sophomore year. Okay,
Yeah.
that wasn't junior year. Yeah, that was sophomore year. That makes more sense. Yeah. Because I remember after that point, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into weightlifting. And it took me a really long time to build a decent physique. And then from that point on, like I'd say, as I got into college, as I got into really developing a better understanding of like, okay, main gaining is the way to go. I remember right back at school, you were just like, you were very much about building muscle, building strength. And I remember that you would go to McDonald's and get all these different types of like Big Mac sandwiches. Like, bro, man, I gotta get those calories.
Disclaimer, I just want to say that dirty bulking isn't the best thing. I just want to say that out there.
This man was the king of dirty bulking.
Yeah, like,
oh my god.
In high school, I gained a pound a day for a month.
Oh my god.
That's like the one story I tell like everyone
Holy
about like
crap.
dirty bulking. Like it's so unhealthy. Like I went from, I think it was like 190 to like 220 in like a month. And then I gained, I think after that, like I plateaued and gained like 5 pounds, 10 pounds in like the other 3 months. So
you were a big boy. Yeah. I mean, you were moving weight too.
Yeah. But like it was so unhealthy though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It was definitely not, looking back on it, like we talked about this yesterday, right? You bulk up, you gain all this strength, but then you cut down. You're able to maintain that strength to a certain extent, right? But is it really worth it? Yeah, like it's not.
I realized it's like I got so much more tired. Like even like going up the stairs, like I was like out of breath. I was like, oh man, this is hard. Yeah. And just like especially like McDonald's, even though like it has protein, like a lot of like the food is just like
not
it's
high
not
quality.
Good. Yeah. It's just so bad. Like I wish like one of my regrets was like I wish I could just like think about like bulking like in a different way because I did just eat whatever I saw and just try to get as big as possible. But I think the smarter way to do it and like the way like most people would recommend would be like a healthy bulk. So like slowly like increasing your calories
for sure.
And then that's how I would have done it.
It's like instead of gaining a pound a day, you're supposed to be gaining like 0.3 pounds per week, so and like that way you minimize you're gonna gain fat, but that's the best way to optimize staying lean while gaining muscle and hopefully not putting on 25 pounds of fat. And I've been there too. Like my freshman year here, I was like, yeah, man, I'm fucking bulking up. I mean, I put on muscle, but it's just like I'm like, dude, I was obese, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I was obese too.
Yeah,
actually. I checked my BMI for my height and weight, and
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Greg Doucette snapped me into fucking shape. He's like, dude, you're obese. He's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but you're just fat, dude. It's not worth it. But when you look back on getting into weightlifting, getting into this whole, and maybe you can get into maybe more of your mindset of when you first really like, so when you first got into weightlifting, it started like developing that habit becomes not very hard, but there's a lot more mental energy there, at least at first. But as 100%. Time goes on and you develop that habit, it just becomes natural, and that mental effort just goes out the window. It's like for you now, going to the gym is like it's just
like breathing.
Yeah, it's like breathing, right? It's like
everything.
There's no hurdle there. Like you're just gonna do it. It's so natural to you. But when you first got into that, did you notice a lot of mental energy to help? Like I know it's a long time ago, but did you notice like, oh man, this is kind of tough? But there was kind of just this anchor that like within you that just said you need to keep going, right?
Yeah, it's. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about this in like two different aspects. So like definitely. In high school, I was kind of just like a gym rat, just like going to the gym, just trying to get like a pump. Yeah. But I think for me, I was still like pretty consistent because like I'd always be like, and like my friends will say this all the time, like I'm notoriously late to everything, just because like I'm like doing something at the gym, working out, cooking, got you, things about those those things. But like it would be hard sometimes, especially in high school, like I saw results and I was like, you know what, like I'm getting bigger, so I should keep going. And I mean, I risk a lot. Like I'd again be late to like friend hangouts and stuff like that. But I think, and like the second aspect, which was like I guess like a big wake up call, was when I was in college, and I remember I used to like drink, I used to party, not like too much, but like every weekend I'd like drink, like Friday, Saturdays, and like parties here and there. And then like I realized like one time I got like hungover and I like didn't feel too well the next day, and I was like, that like affected my whole like gym because I had legs that day. So it was a Saturday. I just remember that. Like the workout felt so bad, and then like I remember after I was like, if I really want to like be the best at like working out, if I really want to like be the best possible me in like terms of like fitness, like I can't like keep drinking, I can't keep like partying, like all these kind of things, you know. And that's when I was like, I really like love working out, and if I really want to do this to like my best, I gotta like stop the drinking, you know.
So that's really the point. Like you were into working out before that, but that's really the point where you realized you're like, okay, these kind of shackles that I'm throwing on myself with drinking, smoking, these distractions, right, are hindering, I guess you could say, your purpose or your mission or whatever, right? And like that realization and that, maybe not that moment in time, but maybe like a couple of days after that or whatever, you were just like, yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta put this shit to the side because it's not helping me enhance my ultimate goal, which is, and you've always told me this, to be like the best in the gym, to be the best. And like I think, especially, like, don't get me wrong, like I love to go to the gym, like it's a huge passion of mine, but for me, it's not, I don't want to, like, it's like, for me, it's like, I love weightlifting, right? And I'm always going to, but I don't have that intuitive drive and passion to be the best, right? And I see that in you, right? Like I like dead ass, like I really do. And you've all, like, even back in high school, like I just remember you would always just have this mindset of just like, I'm going in and I'm shredding and I'm tearing everything, right? And it's just like you're going to continue to push yourself, right? Because you have that higher level of motivation and discipline to really just continue to push. And like that's something like you are willing to go beyond what normal people in the gym aren't willing to do. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I think the one thing I always think about, like what gives me the drive is like not to like be a down Debbie.
Oh, you're good.
What they call it, but I wasn't like ever like good at sports, you know, like I was like obese as a kid, and like I never played sports until I was like 12. Like I was always like playing with my toys inside, or like just being lazy on my phone, like on my PlayStation. And then I played soccer, and then I played some soccer in England, but like I wasn't too good. And then even when I came to Farmington, like I'd do track, I'd do soccer, and like I made the team, but I wasn't like great. I was just exceptional. Like okay, I was like maybe a starter, or like I'd sit on bench, or like track, like I'd maybe run like third string or whatever it is. Like I would never be like the top at like those sports. And I remember when I got into weightlifting, I was like, no one else is doing this. No one else wants to do this. And then when I started doing it, and I was like, you know, if I could take this seriously, I might be able to do like this thing like as best, like better than anyone I know. And that's like what I guess drove me.
Dude, that is a great way of putting it too, because that makes so much sense, especially for you, because you, like, genetically speaking, like you have except I was telling you this, and you're like, "Oh, dude, stop sucking my cock." I'm like, I'm just like, "Shut up, dude! I'm trying to tell you something objectively." I'm just like, you had like, okay, I'll throw up some pictures on the screen right now of like this dude's physique. I mean, it is insane. Like, if I didn't know, like I was telling Josh yesterday, I was like, dude, if I didn't know you beforehand, I would 1,000,000% think that you're on juice, 100%, right? Yeah. But your physique and your genetics, and especially with how hard you work, right, is within the top 1%, like 0.01%. Like you're always like one of the biggest dudes in the gym, if not the biggest dude in the gym, the leanest, right? And it's like just how you have that natural ability within yourself, plus you enjoy it, right? It's like in alignment with your purpose. You found the money, right? You found what you want to do for the rest of your life, right? And whether you turn this into a lifestyle, right? Which I think, like, deep down inside you do want to do. Oh, of course, yeah. Which I do think deep down inside you want to do, right? Obviously, you're pursuing a career in marketing, right?
Business management.
Business management. Oh, that's my minor.
What's your major?
Philosophy.
Okay.
Oh, so you're a pussy.
You like to think. Your major's thinking.
Yeah, you're technically not wrong, but no, I really enjoy it. Nice. But business management's fire, by the way. But yeah, I think like especially with now how big the fitness industry is, right? I mean, it's bigger than it's ever been, right? In terms of the individuals it allows to develop into a career, right? Mm-hmm. Have like different types of sponsorships, profit opportunities where they can actually live this lifestyle, where they can create content online and they can, like I just said, like live that type of way, right? And they don't necessarily need to have a job, right? And so I think, is that your ultimate goal? I mean, because obviously you have the passion for business management. But,
but I don't know.
You could do both.
I know it's hard though. Like I know someone in my gym who he has a job. He's like an accountant, but he also does like he's like sponsored and like he has like a few followers on Instagram. So he still like makes money from sponsors and like
because it's
like Instagram, like he gets money from reels and things like that.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think if I can, I guess, do something along those lines, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I guess like of course like the dream would be like Lex Little. Like,
James English.
Like all those guys would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
that's like the ultimate dream.
Yeah, that's the ultimate dream.
But the practical ones, like you have a job and you can
both.
Yeah, because it's incredibly hard to like get to. I mean, you got to be super lucky. Like, but you also do have, in my opinion, the right set of attributes that can allow you to get to that level. Like you've started posting content very consistently, right? You already have the freaking physique, right? You already have the plus you're from England too, which is like that's another bonus, right? I'm sure the chicks dig that as well.
It's just like getting traction.
Exactly.
Like right now I have like 1,300 followers.
Yeah, that's good though.
That. Yeah, it's like okay, but like
you mean you just started like how long ago? Like
this is my old Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Same Instagram, so I just like made it my fitness Instagram.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, it's I mean everyone's trying to like do this fitness stuff. Like you look on TikTok, Instagram, like all these social media platforms, everyone's trying to like make it big, get sponsors from like Gymshark, like Young LA, like all those big companies. And like they're not gonna choose everyone, right? There's thousands,
they
like,
can't.
Maybe even millions of people doing this. You know? They can only choose like maybe 100 people. Something like that.
Yeah.
So like it's really hard.
It's incredibly competitive. Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm sure you've thought about this. Like, I mean, because I think with your physique, especially, and the type of pictures you're posting, just the one of you, the one of you going like that, right, dude? Insane, right? Like, thanks. I mean, that's just it's just so clean. Like, you literally look like a classic bodybuilder, you know. And I think that alone, your physique and just your consistency, I think will attract an audience over time because your page is already like Young LA is already liking your stuff, right? They already noticing you. People, I mean, at least people I find are gravitate towards you, right? They like you're just a natural kind of person that can grab an audience, I feel, right? And it's like for me, that's not necessarily the case. You know, I find I have to like work harder to get like that type of audience. But yeah, just some people can naturally do that. And I think definitely, man, like you'll be able to stand out, and you know, as long as it's going to take a long time, but I think definitely, I mean, you've already shown you've been doing this for 5 or 6 years now, and it's something that you want to continue to pursue. But I mean, transitioning to kind of just like more of your bodybuilding, I mean, like body, what are your bodybuilding goals? Like, how big do you want your arms to get, or like, where, like, how far do you want to push? Do you eventually want to get on some type of drugs, like, or I mean, would you want to compete? Do you want to do like powerlifting? You know, like what are your goals?
Definitely not powerlifting.
Definitely not. Okay,
I mean, I like
you probably do pretty good, honestly.
Well, it's just like I'm like a pretty heavy dude for like someone who like does like the weights I do. Like I can pull like I think like compared to like everyone else, I can probably do heavy lifts, but like compared to like powerlifters at my weight, like there are dudes like 50 pounds lighter than me that can like do all my lifts like way heavier than I can. So like in that aspect, like I don't think like that's my type of thing. But in terms of like bodybuilding, I think like
dude,
be
sick, man.
I want to do steroids just because like there's so many like side effects like that like no one really talks about, like not only like testosterone but like hair loss, like heart problems, like things like that.
Serious shit.
So that's something like for now I'm saying like I don't want to be on it. But I think in terms of a show, like I'm thinking next summer. Ooh.
Yo, that'd be fire.
I gotta plan it out because
of course.
I was thinking of like bulking like my first semester. Then second semester I'd go in a cup, and then I'd get a coach.
Ooh,
and then I'd join there's this bodybuilding federation called OCB. I think.
Okay.
And they're like fully natural. Like you have to be natural like your entire life.
Oh, that's like, really good.
Yeah, whereas some shows like you could be natural like the past like few months.
So you could become a pro natural in that federation.
Yeah, but it's not like an IFBB pro. It's like it's like their own federation kind of pro. So it's like OCB pro basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, I just gotta like plan it out and see like how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea, man, and I think you totally should. And I think, weren't you planning on doing a show a couple of years ago, but something happened there, right?
I don't know what happened.
I just remember you telling. I just remember you telling me, and I was just like, "Oh, bro, I'm going to that." And then you were just like, "Yeah, no, it's happening."
Yeah, no, but I wasn't like ready for it. Like, I didn't have a coach or anything. Like,
Gotcha.
I wasn't like completely like ready.
Yep, gotcha. Well, you did have a show that one year on the diving board.
Oh yeah.
All right, little side story for you all. So it was our senior year, right? And I was just like, we have this picnic at the end of the year, and right, like our whole entire grade's gonna be there, right? And so it's probably like 2 or 3, maybe like 2 months beforehand. And I was like talking to Josh. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get shredded for this, right? Because I was like, in my mind at the time, right? I was like, I'm gonna take off my shirt, right? I need to be looking good, you know what I mean? Like people haven't seen me with my shirt off in a long time, right? And then I was like, I told Josh that. He's like, dude, I'm cutting for the same thing. I'm like, let's go, dude. Yeah. So that day ended up coming up, and it was like me, you, Kevin, and like
Krupa,
Kevin Krupa, and a couple other guys were. Oh yeah, like Nigel. Nigel cut down a ton. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that was the first time he really cut down. And we're like, it's show day, baby. It's show day. And so this dude ended up coming in probably sub 10% body fat, like probably like 7, right? Or 6.
I'd probably say like 7.
7, yeah, 7 or 8. I mean, you were shredded, right?
Yeah.
You were like, you legit looked like a freaking monster that day. And you were like, yeah, it's show day, baby. And you were working for that day for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just remember we were in the pool, and I was like everyone was like the pool, like we went with a couple other schools too. We were all in the pool, and I was like, Josh, you should go up there and just start hitting like a side chest on the diving board. And that would have been awesome. But it was just like, yeah, it's our show day. But I mean, yeah, just a little side story for you all. That was awesome, by the way. Like
April 24th.
April 24th. Oh my god, dude. April 20. Yep. April 2019. Damn, dude, that's crazy. But yeah. So kind of like, when you were at that point, when you had that realization, right? You had that kind of wake up call, I guess you could say. You had that kind of shift in awareness from being like, man, I really shouldn't be partying anymore. I really shouldn't be drinking anymore. Did you develop this like drive after that? Did you develop this kind of like, did it really put you into the mindset that you are now? Because I remember this specific moment. It was Halloween, right? Everyone was going out partying, and you posted on your story like, I'm at the gym while Yep. I'm at the gym while I'm like, I think you hit a PR on squat that day, right? Or deadlift or something.
On squats.
Jeez, dude. 100 more pounds than me. But yeah, like from that point, like, was that really what developed your mindset from like until now? Like, it just seems like you have this force within you that just like
I really think it was like even like last year when I was like in school, like I'm not a big fan of going to bars or like drinking, like that kind of thing, of course. So like I'd spend like a lot of time just like either just like at home or like with like my boys, but like I wouldn't go to the bars. So
gotcha.
And like even like parties and things, like I'd want to get to bed like relatively early. Like I'd hate going to bed like after 1, just because like I want to get like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But yeah, that definitely put me in that kind of like mindset. I was like, you know what, I really like want to be the best, and really do this to like my best abilities.
Yeah, and looking back on that, do you think are you satisfied with how far you've come since that point?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, it's like I feel like everyone who goes to the gym has like body dysmorphia, you know, like you think you're small. Yeah, especially me, because like
we were talking about this,
and it's so annoying because like I've talked to people about this, and they're always like, oh, like you've come a long way, and like it really has me thinking like like when I look at pictures of like before I even started lifting, or even when I was like 2 years into lifting to where I am now, like I remember when I was like 2 years into lifting, I was like, damn, I'm like so big. Like I was like so happy with myself. And now I'm like way bigger, like the biggest I've ever been, basically. And like I look at myself, I'm like, no,
small.
Yeah, basically. Like,
if you're small, that dude, I'm like a fucking speck.
It's I think it's because like I'm proud of like how far I've come, but like I'm never like satisfied, you know, like. Like I think I was working out with this guy at Valley like a few days ago. And he was like, "Do you have a goal like in terms of like fitness?" And for me, it's like it's hard to like determine a goal like in fitness, because like for me, not like a show, but like he was like, "Do you have like like a physique goal or like something like that, like with the gym.
Yeah, yep.
And I was like, I can't really say I do, because like if once you have a goal, like for me, like once you reach that, it's like you kind of reach like satisfaction. And I never really want to be like satisfied, you know. I just want to keep that like
keep
progressive,
it going,
like linear like gains keep going, you know.
And that's so true, because I think a lot of people too, like look, NBA champions, you know, or just any type of champions, or people that, you know, reach a certain point in their lives. They get that point and they reach that point and they're just like, yeah, they maybe they celebrate for a little bit. They're like,
yeah.
But after that, they're just like, they're purposeless, you know?
Yeah, like
they
what
have
now?
no meaning in their life. Yeah, like what now? Exactly. And I think it's so, like you said that beautifully. When we like, because like asking the question, like for me, like, oh, or like I ask you, like, oh, what's your dream physique, right? Like, what do you, like exactly like that, what that guy asked you, like, what's your goal? Like, in my mind, I'm just like, there really is no endpoint, right? Like there's always room for improvement.
Oh yeah,
you're just constantly going to be evolving. Like literally, you will be evolving.
Yeah,
right?
You want to keep getting better and better.
keep getting better and better, right? There really is no endpoint, and I think a lot of people mistaken this, and I talk about this all the time on the podcast. They're like, okay, once I get that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But they don't actually realize the process that they're in right now is what breeds that happiness.
I was just gonna say that, like I feel like I'm trying to think of like an example where like
that, like similar to the message I just said.
Yeah, because like I think like one of my goals for like lifting wise was to hit. It was like 6 plates on deadlift, and I did hit it. And like I hit it, and I was like really happy like the whole day. But then like after that day was done, like that was it. Like for me, like just like the progress of like, I remember because I had I used to do a powerlifting split. Yep. So I had I think it was like 8 weeks. So I deadlifted like once a week, like squat twice a week, bench twice a week. Yep. And I love to deadlift. So I remember like the progression of deadlifts. Like my deadlifts were always like they felt good like every week. Yeah. And that's like I enjoyed that the most. Just like the progression of like getting up to here, you know. Yep. And then when I finally like reached the goal, I finally hit like 6 plates. I was happy like for that entire day. And then the next day it was like a normal day. Like the happiness, like for me and that kind of like aspect, it doesn't just last like the rest of your life. You know, once I reached that goal, I wasn't like satisfied for the rest of my life. You know, it was like I did this. Now like I need to have like another goal, something else I want to reach.
Exactly. Yeah, and resetting that goal, whether it be to 7 plates or 8. It's so true, man. It's because people like they're so fixated on the goal, they miss the whole entire process, right? They miss that entire time of like when you're deadlifting to get up to 6 plates. Like you were saying, like your deadlifts felt so good up to that point, right? Yeah. It was the driving force to help you make progression, and that progression was helping you. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm guessing during that time you were very satisfied and happy with your deadlifts, at least, you know. Yeah. And like you said, when you finally hit that goal, you're like, well, now, like it was a short-term high, you know. It was like but you hypothetically think it's gonna last forever, right? You're like, once I get this physique, once I have this big of biceps, right, or triceps, you'll be like, yeah, I'm whole and complete. But you already are whole and complete in that whole process. But it's also just reminding yourself to set that standard and to continue to keep striving. And I think that's really good. You know that, but I think a lot of people, especially with social media, and we can get more into this, and just kind of like the whole social media side of things, really just throws people's mindsets into a bad area, right? And so you could definitely relate to this, especially like when we were talking about this or on talking about this previously. When you compare yourself, right, and you look at others that are bigger than you, it diminishes what you've all like. You're just like, oh my god, dude. So, and I remember you said this to me like one time. Like I think it was when I was like, dude, you got to show me how to do sumo, dude. Like I don't know if you remember that time we worked out, right? And I was having lower back problems, and like I wasn't really into deadlifting at all. And I barely pulled 275 on deadlift. And the kid next to me, this kid must have been like 13, pulled like 315 for like 5. I'm like I started comparing, and then you came over to me like, dude, you never compare yourself to others. Like only person you should be comparing yourself to is you. Yeah. And so, and I'm sure you follow that very, very well. You follow that principle very well, but I'm almost positive and certain, you know, like you were saying before, like you compare yourself to others and it makes you feel less than.
I mean, definitely like you shouldn't. like one thing I definitely learned is like you shouldn't compare yourself to others, and you should compare yourself to like what you were before.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to be like a better version of myself than I was like yesterday or like a few years ago.
Yep.
But I think like a lot of the times when you're on like social media, like sometimes it's not like, I mean, it is a bit of like comparison, but like you start to like imagine like I'd see like David Lade or like Lexo and like, damn, like what if I had that body? It's like that, you know, like you'd kind of just like think like what it would be like to be like that, you know. And it's sometimes like you compare, you're like, man, like I'm like shit compared to them, basically.
Yeah.
And but like other times it's like I don't know, you just kind of admire them and you're like, wow, like I'm never gonna be like that, you know.
Yeah. Because I was talking to Kuba about this, and a couple things there. Kuba, in terms of videography, has always been inspired by Casey Neistat, right? And his like cinematics, right? And he would always look to him as a standard that he should strive towards, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I might not ever reach there. And he makes a lot of the same type of content, same type of like style as him. He's like, dude, I may never reach that point. But does that mean I should feel shit about the work I'm doing? Does that mean I should just sit here with my legs crossed and do nothing, right? And a lot of people think that they have within their own control. Like, I don't care what steroids I'm on. I don't care how hard I work. I will never look as good as Josh. It's just facts. Like, I won't, right?
Damn.
No, like, think about that. Like, I won't. But that doesn't mean that I should discredit myself for the physique that I've gained, right? The 100%. Physique that I'm not, because I'm still working as hard, or, well, you know, I could be working harder, but like, I'm still working hard in the gym, right? I'm still trying my best, right? I have limitations. I have certain genetics. I'm not as genetically blessed in that sense as Josh. Does that mean I should diminish my whole physique based on him looking better? Or does that mean I shouldn't continue to make progress? Absolutely not, right? So you really got to take that reflection within yourself, because you're not in the same situation. I'm not in the same situation as Josh, right? He's got different genetics. He's genetically blessed. He definitely works his fucking ass off, no doubt about it, right? But we're in two different situations, and people got to realize that, right? They don't see that. They should see it, but they don't.
Yeah, that's something like I think about sometimes when I'm like feeling like down about myself. Like, we all start like different places, right? Like I started here, like you started somewhere else, you know. And like as long as like we're doing our best, that's all that matters, 100%. You know. Like I think like, of course we all fall into the trap of like me comparing myself to someone, you comparing yourself to someone else. But I think like as long as I feel like comparing yourself to someone else can be like healthy. Like if you compare yourself to like what Kuba said, like he compares himself to Casey.
There's a healthy way to do it.
Like I compare myself to like, I don't know, David Lade, like the top guys, but that's it used to be like I used to like compare myself in the aspect of that was like, oh, like I'm like nothing compared to them. But like now it's like kind of transitioned to like that's like the standard, like and that like kind of motivates me to like want to be like up there, you know? Yeah,
definitely. And this just reminded me, like, so your boy Dylan, right? We were just talking about him before the podcast, right? So shout out Dylan, by the way. Hopefully Dylan Baker, man, shout him out. Hopefully he'll come on the podcast soon. Maybe you could make that happen. But I was just I think it was on your page, and I think I saw him comment or whatever. So I just like mindlessly clicked on his page. I was like, ooh, what's this? Like, I like looking at fitness pages. And I was like, admired by this dude's consistency, right? Like, I mean, it is crazy. I mean, this guy's posting, I don't know, daily, like every other day, right? I mean, but he posts like incredibly high quality content, right? And I'm just like, it just reminded me, like, I think I'm consistent, right? And then I look at someone like that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, dude, he's got something I don't, right? But like you said, that's a healthy way to compare.
Yeah, because you want to be up there, right?
Exactly. Right? I want to be that. I want like, and from my point of view, like I'm like, oh, like this guy. For me, like as an editor, right? As someone that enjoys fitness and that, right? I'm like, what the fuck, right? And I was just talking about this with my other co-host, Jason. I don't know if you know. Yeah. Cool guy. And we're just like, we were like talking about our consistency, right? And we were kind of, we were just like, yeah, man, we were really like, reflecting on how consistent we are. And then I looked at that, and I looked at Dylan, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, but you have to realize, like, podcasts are like, I feel like a lot longer to edit and like, do these kind of things.
Exactly. It's not a black and white matter by any means. And I appreciate you bringing that up. But the main point I was just trying to get at there was when you just always got to keep in mind that there's always someone better than you,
Oh, yeah,
right? Unless you're like LeBron James or whatever, like, you know, like
Yeah.
there's always someone that's more consistent than you.
Yeah.
And that also within that, you could see there's always room for improvement, right? There's never, you're never like, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm the most consistent motherfucker out here, right? I don't need to get better, right? Like I've already developed, like you're not at that end point, right? Like you may think you're at that end point, but you're really not. Like you'll never reach that end point, as we were discussing before. And yeah, I think that's just a huge thing, especially with people in the fitness industry, and just life in general really need to think about. But
yeah, I mean, if you look at like Dylan stuff, like shout out Dylan.
Shout out Dylan.
Like in the beginning, I remember he used to tell me, he was like, yeah, like I've been like, you know, I'm good with like cameras and stuff, and like he used to do a couple edits, and like, no offense to Dylan, you know, I love the guy.
Yeah.
But like his edits weren't like he edited like one of my videos and it was like cool, but like I was like, I know you can do like so much better. Like I know he has like potential, because like I saw like what he was doing, like the effort he was putting into it, and I was like, you know what, I was like, I know he's gonna like, his shit's gonna be like real good real soon. And like he did this challenge. I think it was like for a month he posted a reel every day. And I remember I saw like the progression, and like by the time it was like the last day, you could see like such a huge improvement of like how good like his videos became. Like
solid, man.
His videos were never like bad, you know.
Yeah.
But like
you could
if
tell
you compare like the videos like when I first saw them to like the videos now, like it's like night and day, because like the like consistency and like his investment, like he bought like a really good camera, and like he like looks at trends, and like he really like
does the research.
Does the research on that kind of thing. So like now like he posts every other day, and like it's like I don't know how it hasn't like blown up, because like it looks like so professional. Like the quality's good, and everything looks so good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, especially with him, and just relating it back to weightlifting, or you know, lifting in general, or just any type of area you're trying to go into in your life. Just investing in yourself, right? Having the right resources around you, whether that be a camera, whether that be a friend, whether that be just you willing to challenge yourself with doing a real challenge on Instagram. These are the type of things that will push you to be better in the shortest amount of time, right? So like whether it be just editing a reel for 30 days in a row, right? Like as you pointed out, the progression from the first reel to the last reel is insane, right? And that type of, I guess you could say, urgency, that type of like, you got to like keep in your mind, you're like, oh dude, you set that standard in your head, you're like, I got to put out a reel every single day, right? Like, you know, like in the back, you're going to be not necessarily feeling bad, or maybe feeling bad if you don't meet that standard, meet that goal, right? You're not going to be able to be satisfied with yourself and make the necessary steps that you need to do. So whether it be going to the gym consistently, right? Just start with baby steps, right? You don't have to be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna load up 405 on deadlift, you know, like, or on bench. But it's just getting those type of resources around you. So whether it be like protein powder, the right food, right? Or you're like, I'm stopping drinking, I'm stopping smoking, right? I'm like getting into this mindset, getting really into the mindset of you allowing yourself to flourish into this area that you want to, but you have these shackles on you that are holding you down.
But I think at the same time, like we're talking about goals, like a couple minutes ago, and I think physique goals are like it's not like a good way to like determine success, you know? Because like it's very, like I guess like objective or subjective, should I say? Yeah, for sure. And it's something like you're either gonna be satisfied or you're not. It's not like like you reach this goal. Whereas like I think it's good to have like strength goals. Like I had like a goal to hit like 4 or 5 on deadlift and like 4 or 5 on like squats. I think those goals are good. And then to constantly like always have goals, like whether it's like weightlifting goals or like whatever like your field is, to have goals that'll continuously like once you complete one goal, you have like another goal to like complete it. So like you're always on like that kind of journey for like self-improvement.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. And it's like, it's important to not get lost in the sauce, right? And I'm glad you're here, you know, because you every single time I bring up a point, right? You're always like, wait a minute, Cal. It's not that it's not necessarily that you're wrong, but you're bringing up a perspective that's grounding my perspective a lot more, right? It's like, because it's not all about developing a certain physique, right? There's more to it, right? And I said this in a couple podcasts ago. Your success is not determined by necessarily the outcome, right? Your success is determined, at least in my subjective definition, by the habits that you have internally, right? So if you're going to the gym, like let's just say and this is a very good example, right? I'm not pushing as much weight as I should be pushing, right? But I'm still trying as best as I can, right? Like I'm still, I'm doing my, you're exerting as much physical ability, right form, not just like throwing around the weights, no ego, right? You're doing the right things, and you're doing the right things, right? I think people often be like, "Oh man, I'm not hitting 405 on deadlift. I'm not reaching these goals, right? I don't have a certain physique, right? But I'm still trying as best as I can." And I think just have maybe not that particular perspective in mind, but just having a perspective in mind that allows you to not I don't know if this is a word, digress, like do the opposite of progress, right? Is very important.
Yeah, I agree. I think like, again, you should always be like self-improving, but like sometimes like I'd catch myself like, I guess like being like that, just like not digressing, but like I'd like wouldn't hit like a certain like number, like I wouldn't hit 4 or 5 for like the number of reps I want, and I'd be like upset with myself, which like it can be like, I wouldn't say it's unhealthy, but like I think it shows like I really care about like hitting my own goals. I really care about like the progression. So I think in that aspect, like it kind of like, I think it drives me even more like when I don't make it, when I feel like my lifts or whatever, because then I'm like, I want to be like even stronger than that then.
So would you say it's a good problem to have? Like, so when you don't hit 405 for a certain amount of reps, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that problem is a lot better than other problems that you could have in your life? So meaning like, oh man, as compared to like, oh, I'm not getting any bitches.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
So like shed some light on that. Like, so like developing good problems, like
no, like definitely like, I'm trying to think of how to say this, but I think that problem is like, it's not even like the worst thing. Like some people look at me like I'm fucking crazy sometimes. Like I'll be like, man, I didn't hit 100 dumbbells on incline for like 10. I only hit 9. And some people are like, man, I can't even do 70s. Yeah. Like I see where they're coming from, but like this kind of problem, it's like it's very like self-improvement. Like I want to like, I really want to reach those goals. I really want to get stronger. Like that's, I think in that aspect, it's a good goal to have because you're setting yourself like good standards. Like I want to reach 10 I want to reach 10 reps, but I hit 9. Then maybe the next set, like I'll find like the drive like even deeper inside me and hit a 10. Like that happens.
Did it yesterday. Yeah, literally did it yesterday, man. Yeah, you did 225 for 6. You failed on the 7th, and then the next one you came in, you fucking grinded out the 7th. Yeah.
So like, and I think in that aspect, like it definitely it's motivating to have like that kind of problem, but like compared to any other problem I could have, like that's definitely like a problem I'd rather have than anything else.
Makes you feel grateful, man. Like like. I've got like in a comparative aspect, and not trying to like put anybody down. You're like, I have good problems. You know what I mean? I don't have bad problems, whether that be like family issues, personal issues like depression. I'm not downing any of those things. Are very serious matters. That you should seek out help for. It makes you feel grateful, being like, yeah, I'm pissed off right now. I didn't hit 100 for 10, right? But luckily, I'm not dealing with something that is
like serious,
very
like, I wouldn't
serious.
say like this is like a serious problem.
Like it appears very serious, right?
But it's just like disappointing
in reality,
in
it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
exactly.
But like at the same time, like I try not to get upset about those things because like I think about just like when I started and I couldn't even like touch like 50s.
True.
Like I remember one time I was at the gym. This is when I was first starting out. I saw a guy like shoulder pressing like 70s on each side for like 5 reps. And I was like, fuck, that dude is strong. And now like I do like 70s for like 20 reps.
Oh my God, really? Holy shit.
Shoulder press, and it's it just like shows you how far you've come, you know? And that's like something I always try to keep in mind, Yeah,
for sure. And that's a great mindset to have, man. And especially just, exactly. I was literally just thinking about that as you were saying that. Remind yourself of how far you've come, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself some credit, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
you've come a long way. Even though you may not necessarily feel that type of like, oh wow, I've come a far way. But like just like briefly reminding yourself of like, dude, like you in your own person, like just within that boundary of like, okay, here's my standard, right? My physique, right? Compared to my physique before, right? Because it is a subjective thing.
Yeah.
Just be like, on that spectrum, I've made incredible progress. But even though you may feel like you've made no progress in that moment of like you're 75% of the way to your ultimate goal, right? Just being able to remind yourself of how far you've came, being like, yeah, I got this. Like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. I think like a lot of the times, like you kind of, you get stuck in like that mindset where like, you're so used to, like for me at least, I'm like so used to like seeing my body every day. Like I look up and like I brush my teeth and I'm like looking in the mirror, you know. I'm in the gym looking in the miror, you know. I see my body so many times a day that like
so used to it,
I'm so used to. I'm like, okay, this is just like a normal body. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, like this is just like there's nothing special about this body. I'm just like,
exactly.
you know, I'm still trying to get better, but this is just like a normal body. But then like it just like become like a mesh. Like all me looking at myself like all those years, like it's become like a mesh of like just one body.
You don't notice it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that kind of progression, it's like, especially like the natural way, it's so slow that like like once you reach like I guess like 6 years, you know, that's, you know, you start having like the body dysmorphia and you're like, man, like I'm like tiny. But then you just got to realize that like look from the beginning, you know? Like,
yeah, dude. Oh my god, especially from your beginning, man. Oh my god, that picture with you and yours. I think you had sunglasses on in your room, just like
no, I'll send you the picture. You can put on the,
of course. Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible how much progress you can, but it's just so interesting how the perspectives flip over time, and then you, like you said before, you just get so used to seeing your body, right? So you don't even notice the overall progression, as opposed to like, let's just say we didn't see each other for like you started lifting, right? We both started lifting together, made a little bit of progress, and we didn't see each other until this point. We would be like, we would notice it immediately, right? And it's like, it's just you're the person that's always with yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's a double-edged sword, right? Because one, you're the person that keeps you going, but you're also the person that sits you down too, right? And so I mean, at least I think you're your own greatest enemy, right? And so, but you're also your own greatest hero, right?
Yeah.
So you can either propel yourself, as we've discussed before, towards certain goals, right? Or you can digress a lot.
I mean, you want to be the best version of yourself, right? But at the same time, like it's all like a mental game, you know.
For sure.
Like thinking again, like you're small, like thinking you can't like reach a certain goal, things like that.
It's all perspective.
Yeah, like I think like if you can really have like a good mindset, like if you have a goal, like a healthy goal, not like I wouldn't say a physique goal is really a goal. I just want to say that. But if you have like something you want to reach towards, I think like your mindset is definitely like the biggest thing. So you gotta like control like up the air.
First, man. You know? It's because I was literally just thinking about this today, and I think why not say it right now, just to record it, you know. It isn't not necessarily related to weightlifting, but a lot of people fall victim to external factors, right? You know, there's things outside of their control that they can't do anything about. So, for instance, genetics, right? Like, I will never reach the same physique as someone like Josh, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's like some type of chromosome that hasn't been unlocked yet. But I was thinking about, I was like, what about internal factors, right? Like, what about things I have in my control, right? What about things within my own ability can I do to reach the standard and goal I want, right? And so a lot of, like we were just talking about this, like a lot of times people just fall victim to their circumstance, right? And they like, if they're in that circumstance of just believing that they'll never reach, you know, or never be able to develop a certain physique, develop a certain type of, or reach a certain standard in their life, right? That's like, they're just like that, their beliefs and their core values, and that like what they really hold close to them, right? The thing that is most important, but the thing that they never get to, right, is stopping them from actually utilizing those factors and those internal factors and capacities to allow them to start getting into, I guess you could say, that area or pursuit and start reaching those goals, right? So they're in a sense only believing in the external factors, right? But they're never actually aware of or utilizing their own internal factors.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get when you think of like all the factors, you know, you got to use your mindset 100%. You got to do everything you have in your power and you can control. You got to utilize it 100%. You know, if you really want to like reach a goal. Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of the times people are like being held back by their own mindset. Like even me, like sometimes like your mind just like talks to you and you say, oh, like you're not good enough. Or,
but you're not your thoughts. Yeah. And you have the control, you have the capability to do things, and you're responsible for what's in your control, right? And how you respond, you know. So, but I think that's a great place to wrap up this episode. What do you think? You wanna?
I want to keep going.
Is there anything else you wanted to say, my man?
I don't really have anything on, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here, dude.
It's my first podcast. So, take it slow.
God, take it nice and slow.
Next time I'll come, twice as long, twice the content.
Twice the long video. And if you guys want to check out our other video, okay, no, we're done. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode number 60 of the Conscious Cast. I'm your host, Cal, along with my other boy, Josh Ngeow. Where can they find you, my man?
At Josh Ngeow on Instagram.
Yes, sir. I will link it down below in the description. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Cal. Once again, love yourself because I love you. Stay handsome, and we are out, people. Peace.